Clark stepped backwards. What was this red-skinned man? The mercenary had an inkling, but he dared not say the word. He tightened his grip on his sword, his one lifeline to survival in getting out of here. Stepping off the ship, the newcomer closed in on the man. "Excuse me, my good sir. What brings you to our shores?" The red-skinned man spoke with a voice like silk. "You tell me. I was heading to the Elven Forest, and then I find myself here." "Ah, I see. So you ended up coming to our domain by ill fate. So sad indeed. It would seem that the gods of chance do not favor you." "Yeah, you can say that again. My luck has been rotten ever since I joined up with that brute." "A brute, you say? Tell me," the man cooed. "Grant, a big musclehead. He got to take a job for that fat merchant. Oh, I'd like to wring his neck if I ever had the chance." "Ah, so it is his fault. And where is this man?" "Who knows?" "Tell me, if I could send you to him, would you let him know how he feels?" offered the strange fellow. "Ha ha! Gladly," the mercenary laughed. Offering his red hand, the mercenary took it. It was unusually warm to the touch, searingly so. With a flashlight, Clark found himself back in the forest. Leaves and roots clung to his clothes and hair. An anger flooded his veins as he pushed himself up. He felt strong, much stronger than usual. Though he put that out of his mind as he found himself reset to his goal. He was going to find that Grant, give him a boot. Yeah, that would be good. He fell into a dead run. There was no trail, but he knew the way. It was as if some voice was telling him where to go. His legs kicked up leaves and needles as he fell into his haste. Never before had he gone this fast. His leg muscles didn't tire, nor did his lungs burn from the strain. It was incredible. If only his anger for Grant and that merchant wasn't blinding his mind, then this would have been pleasant. The elf village came to view. The guards looked down at the men, but before they could act, Clark was already through the gates. His eyes locked onto the cart and the two men unloading the goods. "You traitor! You abandoned me!" Clark roared as he charged. Grant whipped out his sword in a fluid movement. His eyes went wide as he saw the figure that approached. What was there was not his old comrade. His eyes burned crimson and his skin looked stretched too tight. This was something new. Someone new. Looking forward, Grant found his arms snatched up by his former ally. He feared his wrists would break under the pressure. "You traitor!" Flames flicked from the twisted mercenary. Welcome back to Mythical Phylogeny Inspiring Adventures. I'm your guide, Jason Diogos. Today we are tasked with facing one of the more dangerous horrors of the other worlds, the devils. Let's sit for a bit and see what we can make of such a terrifying foe. We are leaving the mortal plane for the higher levels of existence to learn of such foes. Devils, demons, angels, and the fallen angels. They all exist in this realm. The differences in each is a heavily debated topic among theologians. So a definitive answer is going to be pretty hard to pin down, but I'll give you the best results of my research. We'll start with the angels and their fallen kin. Angels are the servants of the gods, and they bring the blessings and the will of the divines to the mortals. These will hope to guide you along your noble paths. Clerics and priests may converse with them via prayer and meditation. The fallen angels are those that have turned their backs on their gods. They will try to turn you astray, both of which are described as winged figures with some variations to their bodies. I'll touch on this a little later. I started with these two since there is a debate that the fallen angels are the same thing as devils and demons. From my research and discussions with some theologians, I believe that is not the case. This idea comes from Christian lore. Satan, or the devil, is a fallen angel named Lucifer, which was cast out after betraying God. A fallen angel, who was thrown down from heaven and smashed deep into the earth where he was buried. This is why hell is underground. Yeah, that brings up my point. According to Dante Alighieri, in his Divine Comedy, Lucifer is in fact imprisoned with the damned souls deep below, and it is the devils there which torment them. Now if you read the Divine Comedy, you'll notice that Dante was a very vindictive person, so take his words with a grain of salt. Regardless, Dante claims that he saw the devils running hell. not Lucifer. What does this tell us? It is the fact that the fallen angels are not the same thing as demons. So what are demons and devils? Both are creatures of another plane which have allied with darker forces, following power and base desires. Within the demon race, there seems to be ranks, with the devil being the highest. Their appearances vary so wildly to the point that saying that the demons are not a race, but instead a whole evolutionary tree. If this is true, then devil is simply the most intelligent of their race, as humans are the most intelligent of monkeys or apes. Why such a variation in their appearances, though? You see the same thing with angels. What is going on? I touched on it last week with the Cerberus, and here we are looking at it a little bit deeper. Look at this photo. What do you see? An old man? A man with a guitar? What other things do you see? What about this one? Is it moving? It gives me a headache. These are all similar to the Rorschach test. Each person sees something different. Why? This is because your mind is trying to perceive things that is different from what you normally would do. The rules of the higher planes are different than our own. Your mind is trying to understand something that may look nothing like your mind can comprehend. So it attempts to simplify it into something that you can understand. This may be why they have such a wild variation in the appearances of demons. It is like trying to make sense of a fever dream. Since these creatures exist on the astral plane, they lack a physical form. So to cross over to our world, they need to gain one. As I spoke before, there is a hierarchy among demons and devils, which relates to their power. To manifest a body requires a great amount of energy, and can leave the devil in a weaker form when it crosses over. For this reason, it is safest to possess a mortal body. To do so, they do require the mortal's approval. Why? Well, your body is the vessel of your soul, which has its own astral form. Hence why they will try to make a deal, but if rejected, it won't work. A simple act of resistance can prevent it? Why? What is going on? Well, the devil's greatest enemies are angels and gods. They offer mortals their divine blessing. That blessing is what can protect you. Why so? This is also why holy magic is so devastating to them. With both drawing from the astral plane, their magic can displace each other. So why would nature magic also work? Well, natural magic ties to this world, the very world you're standing on. In concept, you're weaponizing the power of this world to push back on the encroachment of the forces from the outside, like a body trying to eject a splinter. The power of a devil can grow with the following of others. Wielding a cult offers a position of power, a hierarchy. It can draw power from each of those followers, like a battery. Lastly, devils place a high importance in their name. There's a power in that name. If you can learn theirs, you can use it against them and gain power over them. Few of them are stupid enough to offer it up easily. I've heard that they cannot give false names. I haven't tested this. I'm not taking that chance. There is no way around it. This has the potential to be a nightmare of a battle. Against demons and devils, call for divine aid. The gods willing, you'll succeed here. You'll need your priests, your shamans, your druids, your clerics, and your monks to pray and channel. Help from the other side will be essential. But what if you're alone, or your party is cut off from higher powers? What do you do? As with all creatures of the other worlds, it is expected that they will bring magic. Armor up. Not just the plate to protect you from the powerful claws and horns, but magical resistance. Down any potion you've got, you'll need them. Devils tend to use curses, powerful damaging spells, and conjuring of lesser demons, and a myriad of other tactics. What they'll use will vary from one devil to the next. Look at the spells you have. Chances are the demon will resist many of them, but one may get through. If not, range would be your next recommendation. Best to avoid getting too close to them. If all else fails, you'll need to move in close with an axe or a sword. This should be your last choice. Victory will come in two forms here. First is if it is a possession. Then you need to banish it back to the other side. How? Certain teleportation and spatial magic can do it if holy magic and nature magic do fail you. Once the host has been exposed, cut the devil away. Move the host away, and hopefully you'll face a weaker foe now. But if the devil is fully manifested, you'll need to kill it. With creatures of the astral plane, their organs may move, change, or even heal after you hurt them. There is no such thing as overkill. If you overkill something, it can't come back, right? Drop a mountain, or throw an ocean at it. Pull every trick you've got out of your pockets, then pull out some more. When that is done, invent 6 new tricks. You're going to need to throw a good book at the devil to win. Always remember, the devil will have a plan. It may try to make a deal with you if it can. If it does, reject it. No, nada, negative, 9, nope, never happening, don't listen, keep going. What was that? You didn't hear anything. No deal. Even if you reject it, don't put it past some of your party members. Do you know their wildest desires? What would they give for that? Kill you to save a friend? Do you trust them? I hope you do. Or it may attempt to leave you cursed, a vindictive victory after the fact. If you can, prepare to do so. Try and learn its name. That can give you the power over it I spoke of before. Also, pack in some holy water. I touched on the many uses of holy water in my skeleton discussion, and those may work here as well. The strength of devils varies widely. There are those that are pushovers can be beaten by a simple reading of a few passages of a book. Others which will take an army to fell. Each one is a different foe, and each must face differently. What you're facing here can be the pinnacle of a threat. Because of this, I will give the devils a 5 out of 10 on the weaker end, with the caveat the strongest are open 10 out of 10. Thankfully, most aren't in that league. Still, I would rather overestimate my enemy and win than underestimate them and die. Wouldn't you? Be careful with looting devils. They may own magical items, many that will have curses or malignant magic tied to them. I would not try to use the devil's remains for anything. I would soak it in holy water, burn it, and bury it in holy ground. The works. You don't want it trying to come back. Honestly, do that with everything it has touched. Best take no chances, right? Right. So no prize except for stopping a devil. That is reward enough, right? I hope so. If you are working for a king, hopefully they will compensate you, like really well. Grant strained against his foe. How could something half his size be this strong? An elf fired an arrow which split the two combatants apart. With the two separated, the elves opened fire. Arrows came down like rain, but Clark didn't care. The arrows pierced him until he looked like a pincushion, which burst into flames and turned the arrows to ash. Rushing forward, the possessed mercenary headed for the merchant by the cart, the clawed hand slicing into the older man's shoulders. Above the fight was watched by the merchant's friend, Gilia. It was the priest that recognized what he was seeing. High on his balcony, the elves started to pray. Seeing their master's actions, his followers acted. Rushing around, they brought holy water from the fountain of the earth goddess. By her blessing, the water turned to a mist. The devil screamed as its skin blistered and fell back only for the priest's prayer to be heard. Grant's blade glowed with a holy light that he had never seen before. The sword was a sword, and that was something he knew how to use. Charging forward, he cleaved his foe in twain, and fell silent and still. "Everyone all right?" he called out. Seeing the merchant on the ground, he found the man clutching his shoulder. No blood flowed, only a black mark like an eye. A curse. Devils have one of the greatest potentials of any foe we have encountered thus far, with more to come. Fear not, aspiring adventurers, for we shall best them each in turn. Thank you for watching, and please return next week, where we shall turn our gaze to the mighty Minotaur. Until then, be safe.